Everybody, it's Dan and we are live. Welcome. Today's Monday. It's the 11th of November, unless you're listening to the podcast, in which case I don't know what day it is, quite frankly. But anyway, welcome to the Business Growth and Marketing Domination Show. It's such a long name. I think we need to change it, and we might well do that. But in the meantime, it does what it says on the tin, which is what I like. So in this podcast stroke live recording, we're live in the mastermind group, and if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening to the podcast and you want to come join us live, then you can do. Just come and join us at daniellatto.co.uk/mastermind. Here we go. I can put it on screen there for you. No, I can't. I thought I created a little thing that goes across the bottom of the screen, but I haven't. But anyway, welcome to the mastermind group. Today's Monday. We always do business on Mondays, okay? So the reason why we do business on Mondays is that I find that some people, they get into Mondays and they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I've got loads of work to do and it's a mountain to climb. And it's like, okay, let's get you a little bit more organized, because this week should be about you building up your business, you building up your marketing. So on a Monday, that's what you want. On Wednesdays, we talk about property. Because when you get to the middle of the week, you're like, oh, I'm so fed up with my week. If only life was easier, and property will make it easier through cash flow. Trust me when I say this, I can tell you from experience that when you go through difficult times, as we all do and we all will, when the money keeps coming in from property and you don't have to do anything, you're like, oh my gosh, thank goodness for that. And then on Fridays, obviously, we go live with the Mindset and Hustle show. We include our weekly wins. And that's just like, what sort of week have we had? We get to share some of our wins and we get to talk about what those wins have. And remember, every time we're winning, we're building our future on these foundational bricks, if you like. So everything that we do, everything that we accomplish in 5 years' time, when we look back at now, we're going to be grateful for what we do. And I was reading something really, really interesting, and it's a little bit woo-woo, a little bit out there, and it was talking about how we can impact decisions that we made a long time ago through quantum physics. And I was just like, this is a bit woo-woo, but I was like, hear it out, let's just see what we've got to say on this. And I thought it was very interesting. And what it got me to do was it got me to think about, okay, if I'm in 5 years' time and I know that I need to go and do something, a radio show, a TV show, whatever, right? Or even just getting out of bed if I don't feel like it, you know, getting dressed and going live, just that one thing. It enabled me to think about, in 5 years' time, when I look at the catalogue of content that we've got, and as we grow the number of subscribers and the number of people that watch and the number of people that engage in the group and all of that good stuff, it all starts with doing this one Facebook live stream. Right? And it's really difficult to get your head around, because people say, well, what's the point of doing any marketing, because I don't get anything off it. And I'm like, no, you don't get anything off it today. We're still closing business from people who've watched a video that I did 5 years ago. Okay, people go back through those videos, and heck, we even post them out because they're still relevant today. People will go back through your videos and through your podcasts and through your Facebook pictures, which is a bit weird and a bit stalkerish when people start liking Facebook pictures from 8 years ago. You're like, oh, that's a bit freaky, so don't do that. But people will go through your stuff, okay? And you should have a catalogue of stuff, confidence, what's the word, motivational, inspirational, that are demonstrating what you think right now. In 5 years' time, people will go through this stuff, okay? And those people are either going to love you, or going to hate you, or going to sign up, or they're never going to want to talk to you again. Perfect. Exactly what you want. But you've got to start putting this content out. We talk about business growth and we talk about marketing domination. I need to get rid of the word domination, I think, because it just has different connotations, doesn't it? So I think maybe we need to get rid of that. But when we're talking about dominating our market, dominating our industry, I literally spent this morning on YouTube going through all the different things, going through keyword optimizations, looking at who our competitors are and what they're posting and what are the keywords that they're using in tags that are getting them up to the top, how many views have they had, how many views have they paid for, how many subscribers have they paid for, how many comments have they paid for, Very weird, some of this stuff. How the hell are you getting 19,000 views? You know, we're number one on a particular search term. We're not getting 19,000 views. We've got like 2,000 views, and we're number one on that search term. You've paid for those search views, and I get it, for those video views. And I get why you're doing it, but it's not exactly authentic, and people are going to see through you. And right now, actually, people are seeing through this particular individual, interestingly. But this whole point about dominating your business and dominating your marketing and dominating your industry, it all stems from what content are you putting out there. And I was looking through about how many videos I actually put out on Facebook and on YouTube. Actually, it was YouTube in particular, and it's like 1 a day or 2 a day, and I'm thinking 1 or 2 a day is not enough. You know, think about this. Like, if you want to get people on YouTube to find you on YouTube, having one video, which is an amazing video, isn't enough. It is simply not enough. You've got to be posting out. I'm just looking now. Let me go to my YouTube studio. You've got to be posting daily on YouTube. And you go, yeah, but I'm not getting an immediate return. And you're right, you don't get an immediate return. Just as 20 years ago, when I started investing in property, I didn't get financial freedom on the very first property that I bought. Like, life doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but it doesn't work that way. What am I looking at here? I'm looking at audience, I think. Last 28 days. So we've had an extra 11 subscribers in the last 28 days. It's not brilliant, but you know, when Grant Cardone came out and did his YouTube channel, he got less than that. And the same for Gary Vee. When, if you look at some of their earliest videos, go right back to the start and look at some of the stuff that they're doing, they didn't get anything on that. Heck, it took me 5 or 6 years to get over 1,000 subscribers, and we've got like 1.2 now, I think. I think we've got 1.2, 1,200 subscribers. It's really, really hard to do. And there's all these videos, how to get your first 1,000 subscribers, create content. That is how you're going to do it. And yes, it's going to be terrible at first, and then you get better and better and better. But when you're talking about dominating a particular industry, you've got to be creating content. How do you dominate a market? How does Coca-Cola dominate the soft drinks? Well, it's there in the aisles when you go. So are they dominating some of the shelf space? Absolutely. Are they on TV everywhere you go? Absolutely. Are they holidays are coming with the Coca-Cola truck? Absolutely. Heck, what color is Santa Claus? Santa Claus is red. Do you know why Santa Claus is red? Because it used to be green. Coca-Cola changed the color. He's now red because of Coca-Cola's branding. Like, do you think Coca-Cola dominated their marketplace? And of course, it's easy to talk about Coca-Cola because we're on top of the world. But what about you and I, little people who have got 1,200 subscribers after 5 or 6 years? I mean, we're lucky because we get thousands of downloads on the podcast, but it's taken 4 years to get us to that stage. And we were iTunes new and noteworthy when we first came out. And we're not new and noteworthy now. One, we're not new. And two, there's so many other people podcasting. So you've got to stand up and rise above the noise. But we still get regular podcast downloads. But the only reason we get regular podcast downloads is because we create regular podcasts. It's crazy. Look at me. I'm getting all excited. If you think that just sitting there and sending an email once a week to your list, that's gonna cut it, and you go and talk at a live event once a month, and your business is going to take off, it's crazy. I was looking at groups, and in our mastermind group right now, we've got like 220 odd people, and it's a small group, and it's brand new for us. And we literally in the last week, we've just made it free, last week or two, and last week we got 17 new members in there. This week I think we've had 3 or 4 already, and it's on Monday. And so now we're driving traffic back into that group. And I was looking at somebody else who's got like 250,000 members in their group, and somebody else who's got 60,000 in their group. And one of the questions was about engagement, because engagement's always really low. And they're like, dude, unless you've got 1,000 members in your Facebook group, you ain't getting engagement. And I know we've jumped from YouTube to Facebook, but the principle is the same. You need more subscribers. You need more people in your group. If you've got 1,000 people, now hear me out on this. Russell Brunson said, if you've got 1,000 people that absolutely adore you and love you, you will never, ever be poor. Because you could charge them £100 a month for something, okay? 1,000 people, 100,000, £100 a month. It's that not £100,000 every single month. Like, you would never starve. Okay, so think about that. What is it that you can do to create something where you're making, you know, £100 a month on 1,000 people? This is the problem. Getting people into your mastermind group, out of the 220 people, there might be 4 or 5 that actually love you. Okay, so let's say that that is true. If it's, let's say 5 people, or let's get the calculator because I cannot do this. Let's use the yeah, let's just do it on here. So let's say, what is it? 1,000 people divided by 5 is 200. So I've got a 200-fold. How many people are in that group? So 200 times 200 is 40,000 people. Like, just work the numbers back. These are my numbers, and obviously they're just completely made up. I've just plucked them out of thin air. But getting some kind of idea. Now the question turns into, how on earth do I get 40,000 people into my Facebook group? And I'll tell you what the answer is. The answer is by creating content that's valuable. Okay, because for people hitting the group right now are property sources and into property investing and all that kind of thing. So we have to create content for them. That's why also we have the property cash flow show every Wednesday. Then we got to create something else. So one of the next things, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we've got something lined up, a challenge that's lined up, that's going to take place in a group that drives people into the group. Then we go live, then people engage, then some will hate you and unsubscribe, that's fine, and then others will learn to love you and enjoy what you do and want a piece of what you do, and that's how you do it. But you can't do it going live once a week, once a month, standing on a stage once a month, having a podcast interview once a quarter. It's just ridiculous. If you think that that's what's going to do it for you, your business is going to fail. It's just, there is no ifs and no buts. You might be one of the real lucky ones. Well, actually, Dan, I've got 10 people who love me and I never have to work again. Well, bully for you. Most people, I guarantee most people aren't like that. Most people are struggling to hold an audience. And it's not because they're not interesting. And it could be because they're not interesting. Maybe I'm not interesting. But it's not that. It's the fact that they go live once a week or once a month or once a year because they get worried about going live. I get worried about going live. I'm like, you know, I get to, it's 1 o'clock here. So I get to 1 o'clock and I'm like, oh no, ooh, what I'm going to talk about. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, look, let's just talk about the Ascension model here because this is really what I wanted to cover in this session. But I wanted to rant about you generating clients from creating an audience. Okay, but the Ascension model basically refers to people come into your group. That's the first step of the group. It's zero price. You've now got people into a controlled environment that I'm in control of to some extent. Of course, I can't control what people say or think and reply, but it's my group. I can remove people if needs be. I can invite people if needs be. I can add value into the group. I've got a certain level of control, but it's a free of charge group. So the first rung on the Ascension ladder is free of charge. Now, we've also got property sourcing training, which you have to subscribe to. So you have to enter an email address and then you get access to it. And then also it requests that you join the Facebook group. So number one, zero cost, but lots of value on the Ascension ladder is the mastermind group. And then we've got a property training course. And then we've got this next thing that we're going to start filming in the next couple of weeks, probably ready for January. And it'll be like a new year kind of challenge kind of thing. That's going to drive people back into the group. Okay. Like probably once a quarter, we'll have to come up with something new. And then once a month, we'll come up with something new. And then we just rotate them. But it's all free of charge. There's no value on content anymore. Let me say that again. There is zero value on content. People are asking me, Dan, why did you give away your property sourcing training? It's 90 videos. It's really good. It'll take you from start to finish because people are not implementing the information that they learn. There's zero value on content. You want to learn how to be a property sourcer? YouTube, books, podcasts, everything that you need to know about being a property sourcer is right there. So why is everybody not a successful property sourcer then? It's because no one's implementing the stuff. There's zero value. So let's give it away for nothing. That's why we do it. Puts them into the Facebook group, gets them on the mailing list. Now, hopefully, we can start to add value. People get to know who we are. If you've got any comments about this, then please let me know. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this. So that's like rung number one on the Ascension ladder. So what's the next bit? Well, the next bit could be a £97 product. It could be you know, a one-on-one coaching call, or it could be a £250 product where you get 2 coaching calls a month. It could be anything like that. It could be a £9.97 VIP, which is what one of our clients does. They have a VIP offer, and it's £9.97, and we've got X number of members. I don't know how many we've got in there. And the next part on their Ascension ladder is a book that's £25, and you can sign up for that and get that. And we do their content for them, and actually the book sales are going up and up and up every single month, which is amazing. Then they've got what have we got next? They've got a one-day event, which is too cheap, by the way. It's £57, far too cheap. Should be at least £100. £197 actually would probably work very well on that. And then above that, they've got coaching, and then above that, they've got like much bigger coaching, which is thousands of pounds. They've got the Ascension ladder. Now the question is it dead? Is it dying? Is it too much? Has it been done to death? And the answer is no, of course not. Nothing has been done to death. There's always reports: the death of buy-to-let, the death of serviced accommodation, the death of business coaching. It's a load of rubbish. You're just marketing campaigns. That's all they are. Very effective marketing campaigns, I should add as well. But the Ascension model works. But this is what people get wrong. They think, oh, so I have to give away 3, and then they get a £9.97. Then I have to sell them the book. Then I have to get them on a one-day course, and then I sell them a £6,000 thing. That's not true at all. We give away our property sourcing product, and we had a couple of clients book in for the £2,000 2-day event here in Spain, which is one-on-one. We work on their business, and we take them from 0 to hero in just 2 days. We implement everything for them. We help them on the mindset and get all the plans lined up for the next 12 months. It's really awesome. That was literally their first purchase, was a £2,000 product, not a £95 product or £250 product or a £9.99 product. They went from 0 to hero. They went from finding us to getting access to our free content and then signing up. So you don't have to sell and upsell constantly. You can upsell the top thing and then downsell, and start doing it that way. And the reason why people don't do it that way is there's a lack of confidence in this top level product. Whereas we're very confident in our top level product because, well, you may have seen the video, why you should be working with Dan. And we take testimonials, put them into a nice video of all, not all the people actually, but a small group of people who've been out to the villa and had an experience, and they wanted to share, and we've put that in there. Okay, so like you don't have to upsell from the bottom, you can downsell from the top. But most people haven't got a clue what are the product sets. Like you should be writing a list of, okay, I can sell this for £10, I can sell this for £2,000. You listen to Grant Cardone, okay? He's like, I've got 97 products. I need more products to sell. What else can we sell? Let's get those wristbands. Don't be a little bitch. Let's get those wristbands that are twangy ones. And it says, don't be a little bitch, I think it says. He's got the bobber hats, be obsessed to be average. He's got the 10X hats. He's got the hoodies and the day planners. And then he's got his big marketing event. The top dollar price on that event is 25 grand. And that's not even his top level product. His top level product is one-on-one coaching. It's 200 grand a year, whatever it is. A phenomenal amount of money for you to pay. By the way, for the same content, he's only going to tell you the same stuff that you could get off his podcast, but you're getting it one-on-one from Grant. It's different. The context is different, and you're much more likely to implement something that you've paid for. It's one of the downsides of giving away a lot of stuff for free. People don't value it. I guarantee that if I log in and take a look at the how many people get through all 90 videos, it's very, very small. It's less than 5%. And this is not just me. This is standard for everybody. Think about the last time you got something for free. You just don't value it. People just don't value it, you know. We were watching something last night. Ocean's 11. Ocean's 13 it was actually. 2007, they all had flip phones. A bit weird. But they were watching TV, and on TV was Oprah, and she's giving away like stuff. And I was saying to my wife about you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. Do you remember that from years and years ago, 10 years ago? And one woman, I think she sued Oprah, or she complained because she got the car, but she didn't get the insurance, and she was complaining about that. It's like, that's just crazy. Do you know what I mean? Where's your gratitude? But no, she complained because she couldn't afford the insurance or whatever it was. People don't appreciate, like they appreciate them, but they really appreciate them. Do they respect the value that's inherent in free stuff? And the answer is no. If I paid £10,000 for a one-on-one with Grant, let's just say, I would much more respect the information, even though it's the same information we'll get off a podcast. It's just the way that it goes. So this is the downside of giving away free stuff. But to get people into your little group and get them going into this Ascension model, if you've got a £10,000 coaching product, then yes, you could sell them straight into it. But you've got to build an awful lot of trust. This is one of the reasons why the Ascension model actually works, is because you're building up trust over a period of time. And one of the downsides is that if 10 grand is your top level product, this is our problem right now. Our top level product is £2,000. Hell, we should have a £25,000 product, because a number of clients will pay that £25,000, where we fly over to them, we spend 2 days in their business once a quarter. They would pay that money, okay? Because we've got an ability to see stuff that they don't see and go, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What's that about? What are you doing there? That's crazy. What are you doing? They want that because they don't get that from their own team. Whereas Dan comes in like a little whirlwind. What are you doing that for? Kind of the gene that tells you not to say something because it's impolite. That seems to be missing from me sometimes. But that's my personal issue, you know. When we get people up to a top level product, we should have a £10,000 and a £25,000 and a £100,000 product. But we haven't got that. But the Ascension model definitely works. And if you're selling a high value product, you need to be building trust. This is why we go live in the group. It builds trust. People are going to love us. They're going to hate us. If they're going to hate us, they're going to unsubscribe. Perfect. We've only got people in the group who actually like what we do. Perfect. So now we can start to build up trust over the next couple of years. And at some point, they'll pay for the £2,000 to come over. They'll pay a £10,000 a year contract for, once a quarter I fly into their business and come and give them a good shake. And actually, we're probably going to implement that, and we'll put it in at a 10 grand price point. And you know what? People will buy that, and then I'll be like, shit, we need a 50 grand product. This is the Ascension model. Now, where do you start on all of this? Well, start getting interest. A sale isn't made until people trust you. That's the first bit. So start building something up for free so that you can build trust, you can build honesty, you can build authenticity. We've done it through podcasting, live videos, recorded videos of me in the car when I'm going to basketball, or Spanish, and you all know how much I hate my Spanish. It was my little girl's 5th birthday this weekend, and everybody spoke English apart from one couple. The wife had very broken English, and the husband didn't speak any English at all. I'm having a conversation with these guys in Spanish. I've been studying Spanish for 5 weeks, something like that, and I'm actually, so it's working, but I hate it. But you won't know this if you've seen my videos in the car I'm driving to and from it. You see how much I hate it, but it's definitely working. But this is where you're starting to build authenticity. Like, people know about my weight loss and about my Spanish and about now I'm swimming, and that I scored a basketball and won the game because I pulled down the rebound, passed it to a teammate who hit the shot. We're like Jordan and Pippen from the 90s. So people know this about them, and it builds authenticity and it builds trust and reassurance and honesty. And this is the value that you need to be creating up front, not the £10,000 product. That comes later on. So if you're wondering, where does this go? Where do you start? You just create your own group and start posting content into it. Start building people up. Start engaging people, inviting them to come and join your group. It's not rocket science. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a bit of kahunas, because it's, you don't want to go live because, like, oh, who's going to listen to little old me? And I say the same thing, and then I look at, 1.2 million minutes on YouTube views, and nearly 500,000 people have watched our videos. But I'm just a guy from Leeds with 5 GCSEs, for crying out loud. All right, fine, I've got property millions and that kind of thing, and we run a business, but I'm still just little old me. Why would someone listen to me? But they do, and they get value out of it. And if you can go out and start adding value, then once you've got that, then create your £9.99 product, your £100 product, your £1,000 product, your £10,000 product. That's the order of things. Then your 25 grand, then your 50 grand, and you're going to sell, 10 £10 products, 2 £100 product, 3 £1,000 products, 1 £10,000 product every month. And all these bits of income starts to come in. Now you've got a fully fledged business. And then you can start doing a video about the £10,000 product, when you do a video about your VIP membership at £10, when you do a video about your book and about why it's important, page 25 describes how to do compliance or whatever it happens to be, right? That's how you start creating the content. And then people start to build trust and authenticity, and then they start to buy. All right, I hope that's useful for you. No questions today, so we'll call it there. A number of people came on, which is nice. Always let me know if you're here. Always appreciate that. But until Wednesday, we're going to talk on the Property Cash Flow show, and we'll catch up with you then. Until then, have yourself a great week, and we'll speak to you soon. My name's Dan Latto. Take care.